Duhrel. And welcome to the very first episode of Honest Duhrel Reaction, where I, Duhrel, am going to take an album from any year, any genre, any artist, kind of randomly, and give my honest reaction to it. Because if it's anything the internet needs, it's another opinion. And who better than Duhrel? Now, how this is going to work? I don't know. We're kind of winging it. This is the first episode, so in the comments, if you want to leave your suggestions about how it's structured, or even an album you want me to check out, I'll do it. Today's album is Astro by Smash Mouth. And what a banger to start this series with. You're probably thinking, Duhrel, why? And I thought the same thing. Now, this band often gets called the Shrek Band. And I call them that too, before this album. And really, I only knew 3 songs by them. It was All Star, which is, we all know, is oversaturated and gets played at every Walmart, every ball game. It gets played on the radio every time you get in the car and you want to throw your radio out of the car. Cover of I'm a Believer and Walking on the Sun, which, that's a big. What attracted me to check this album out? A multitude of things. Steve Harwell passing away a couple weeks ago was one of the factors. Another factor is I've always seen like this album cover art, and I was like, that is so 1999. I mean, that was 2 years before I was born, but I was like, man, this is a really dated album cover. And should it have been the first album we check out? Stay tuned and find out. This album came out in 1999, as I've mentioned, and you could tell it's pretty dated. They've had some very catchy beats throughout this album. Obviously, everybody knows All Star and how catchy that is, so imagine All Star, but kind of the same, not same patterns, because there's some songs that were different, like the opening track of this album is way different than compared to All Star. Some songs that come to mind that were kind of standouts besides All Star was Then the Morning Comes, Stoned, Radio, and Satellite. I think those songs were pretty big anchors for this album in terms of listenability. You know, as I said, this band gets hated a lot for being not only kind of being the Shrek band, but kind of being a meme band with the All Star thing. But if you look at this album objectively and cast away your thoughts of this being the Shrek band, this is the meme band with All Star memes, it's actually a pretty solid album. In terms of what I thought my favorite track was from this album was probably Then the Morning Comes. I'm a sucker for vocal harmonizing and like dual vocals, and they had that on this track, and I thought it worked pretty good. In terms of least favorite, had to be Roadman. It just kind of fell off with the rest of the album, in my opinion. I love albums that have variety and like variety of songs and like how they sound different, but I feel like Roadman did not feel like it had the right variety, if you know what I mean. Like, it had different sounds, sure, but I don't think it fit well like on the album and the theme. Now, in terms of what I rate the album, we're gonna give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. What prevented it from getting a higher score? I mean, 7 out of 10, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I mean, that's above mid. And I want to try to do albums that like reach 8 or higher, or like maybe 3 and lower. Because like, again, I don't want to do like mid albums because then there would be much to talk about. What made this a 7 out of 10? I think it prevented it from being higher. I think because maybe it just sounded dated, the production and mixing. You could tell it was definitely like early 2000s tech, where it's not as advanced as today now. And the reason it wasn't lower, even though it's Smash Mouth and we all poke fun at them, but rest in peace, Steve. Harwell's vocals were actually pretty good. Like, they were pretty solid. I thought they're kind of gonna be corny, but they kind of felt like different in each song, and they felt like it made sense. And all of the humor that we poke fun of for that song, I thought, like, objectively speaking, that's a pretty good song. So overall, I'd say a 7 out of 10 is a pretty strong scoring for this album. Maybe 6 on a good day, but right now I'm feeling pretty high off the album. I thought it was pretty solid. Now, a question you're probably thinking is, would I check more albums from this band? You know, as of right now, I'm pretty content with the album I listened to, and maybe just staying away from them for a while. But yeah, that's pretty much it on this edition of Honest Duhrel reaction. Quite an interesting album, again, to start off on. I know it's a little rough around the edges, but if anything, this is my first time like doing a vlog or anything like that. Oh yeah, you can see, got a guitar. Can I play the instrument very good? Sure. But anyways, again, that was it. Let me know what you thought of the album if you've listened to the album in the comments below. Let me know what album you think I should review next. I'll try to go more in depth and maybe have a better structure at this with your guys' suggestions. Make sure to follow BasedWorld everywhere you can. Listen on Spotify. Let me know how I did, what you think, and thank you for tuning in. I've been Duhrel.